Hi, and welcome to another live chapter reading of Bottom of the Chains, Prospect, Grimm Wolves MC Series, Book 2 by D.M. Earl, as presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Prologue. Sitting on the edge of my bed, I nervously glance around my room. Everything in here has recently replaced all my old shit. Since my beatdown and surgery, my brothers and old ladies make sure to buy me top-of-the-line shit. From my bedroom set, including the queen-size bed with matching headboard, footboard, dresser, nightstand, and chest. All of the electronics, including the smart television, surround sound, and stereo system, are also new. Finally, my eyes land on my gaming system, which of course is only the very best. Thinking back, I came to the Smiths' home with everything I owned, meaning nothing besides some worn threads. I owned absolute zilch. I would be either living in the streets or dead, if not for, guess I'll call it, the goodwill of the motorcycle club family who has taken me under their wing. Leaning back, I think about waking in terror from the repeated nightmare that fucks with my mind. No idea why, where, if this ever happened, or if it's just a really bad dream. All I can remember is seeing a large, dark building with bars on the windows and a huge steel door. In my mind's eye, I see myself entering through said door, and I'm immediately hit with a stench so bad I instantly start to gag. Fighting the vomit as it fights its way up to my throat, it takes me a few minutes to focus into the desolate, dark, and filthy building. The utter silence is terrifying. After clearing my throat, I immediately hear multiple sounds coming from different holes that I can barely make out by the moonlight. I stumble to one, looking into an abyss of blackness. The only thing I can actually make out is the chain attached to an anchor hook in the floor next to me. I tried to pull on the chain and hear a faint moan, followed by a loud whimpering. Continuing the pressure on the chain, I start pulling in an upward motion and hear a hoarse female voice crying for me to stop. I'm hurting her. At the same time, further down from another hole, I hear a gravelly male voice crying loudly, telling me to get the fuck out of here and find help now. I hear the sounds of chains clinking together from each hole. I stumble back when bright lights explode into the room as they power on one by one, immediately blinding me. Struggling to focus on what is appearing directly in front of me, I take in a haggard breath. Before I can comprehend the horror, I wake up. Again, as usual, I don't remember what is at the bottom of the chains when my eyes finally adjust to the lights while I'm looking into the hole. Falling back into the bed, I try to calm my rapidly beating heart and clear my mind of all this shit. Slowing down my thoughts, I concentrate on my breathing, in and out. As time passes, I feel my body starting to relax from the terrifying memories of my reoccurring nightmare. I urgently sit back up, totally afraid to fall back asleep. Guess it's going to be another sleepless night. Fucked again. Chapter 1. Bullet. The following day, I am so deep in thought, I don't hear the first knock at my bedroom door before a more insistent one finally registers. Bullet, honey, you have some visitors. If you're up for it, is it okay to let them back to your room, or would you rather see them in the family room? Hearing Mama Molly's voice, I instantly jump off my bed, moving to the door, flinging it open. Who's there? Who's here to see me, Mama? I'm not expecting anyone. Yeah, guess the family room is okay, if you're all right with that. My room's a disaster. She smiles at me as she leans in, looking at my room, shaking her head. Sure, sweetie, that's fine. It's some of your brothers from the club. They want to have a word with you. Totally don't want my club brothers to see how I've been living. Fuck no. Existing since the beatdown. Not to mention my just being a slob. My room is chaos. Probably stinks to high heaven too. And I don't give a damn, though I gotta do some laundry soon. Running out of clean clothes. Heading down the long hallway to the family room, I wonder what the hell is up now. Since all the shit that went down, the club has been keeping a close eye on me. I kind of get it and deep down appreciate all of them worrying, but I'm not a fucking kid anymore. Need to learn to take care of myself. It's bad enough I live with Mama and Bubba. I don't want to be a bigger burden to the only folks who give a shit about me. Turning right, walking into the family room, I immediately come to a stop. Chains, Stitch, and Fury are sitting on the sectional and love seat. Apparently, I've fucked something else up, and they're here to try and fix it. When Stitch notices me, he smiles instantly, rising up and offering his hand in my direction. The other two brothers see his reaction, then turn their heads. Just as I get close to the sectional, they just shoot me a couple of smirks as I reach out, shaking Stitch's hand, and I feel the calm he's always able to provide me. He sits back down, so I grab a seat on one of the recliners. As I wait on what the hell's going on, no one says a fucking word, so we all kinda stare at each other. Talk about being goddamn uncomfortable. Starting to feel strange, I look at each of them, and finally, Fury clears his throat. All right, kid, I've got an idea I want to run by you. This has been on my mind for some time, but I had to finish some shit before putting it out there, hoping you can help a brother out. Staring at my VP, I wait for him to continue. I watch as he glances at Chains, then turns his head to Stitch. They share a quick look, then Fury moves his dark eyes back to me. Not sure if you know, Bullet, but my old lady, Abby, is into rehabbing and designing homes. Saying that, she decided the upstairs space of our garage needed to be finished. She drafted a plan, and we worked on it together with some help. Anyway, it's finished, and we turned it into an apartment. We've tried to rent it out, but been told it's either too big or we're asking too much for rent. Most of the folks coming through, I wasn't really comfortable with them living there, so close to Abby, the twins, and me. Not to mention the work we'd have to do, like background checks and shit. Abby and I talked about it, running some ideas at each other a couple nights ago once the two Hellions went to bed. Abby asked if any of the brothers or prospects would be interested in renting the apartment. It would have to be a couple of y'all, because it's 4 bedrooms with en-suites, kitchen, family room, and even a large party game room. I sound like those sons of bitching idiots on that remodeling station on the cable. She's been driving me fucking crazy every night, wanting to know if I spoke to you guys. So here we are, talking to you about it. He takes a breath and leans forward. Gotta tell you, I spoke to Brick first. He thinks it's a great idea, as long as whomever rents it can manage living together, without killing each other or wrecking my place. I can't have any goddamn problems at home. Abby would lose her ever-loving mind if shit happened with her boys around. So, knowing most of the brothers have their own homes or places to flop, I'm reaching out to the prospects. Dingo was first on my list. He's definitely in and single, no baggage, and can't wait to move in. He's excited to have his own place to call home besides the room at the club. Now, he's kind of quiet, so he's a good fit. You're my second choice. Figured you're getting to the age you might want somewhere that's yours. After you, gonna talk to both Velvet and Iron. With Velvet comes his old lady, Sweet Pea. Not sure how that'll work. Iron comes with his daughter, Everly, whom he gets every weekend and occasionally during the week, depending on if her mom has to work. Not sure either would even be interested, but gonna put it out there. Both live in dumps now, so this would be a step up. Your thoughts, kid? Does it sound like something you'd be interested in, Bullet? Fury is watching me closely, as are Stitch and Chains. Feeling like I might be manipulated, I react immediately, without taking a minute to think it out before running my mouth off. Fury, I'm not a goddamn kid. I don't need to be babysat. I know you guys are worried. Fuck, kid. Knock the chip off your shoulder already. It's getting old. Shit happened, and you're dealing with it. This ain't got nothing to do with what happened to you. For Christ's sakes, quit looking at a gift horse in the mouth. I look to Chains and see he's pissed. Not sure why, it doesn't even concern him, but before I get a chance to ask, he continues. I wish someone would have stepped up for me when I first became a prospect. Lived rough until Brick realized I needed help. Never let on how bad it was, being so fucking stubborn. But when Brick extended his hand to me, offering me help, that became the best day of my life back then, kid. Made me fucking think I mattered, knowing someone cared what happened to me. Got my head out of my own ass, so I get it. I really do. Being in foster care sucks big time, as we both know. But we can't live in our past. Can't change it either, Bullet. Gotta concentrate on the present and what you want in your future, brother. Do what's right for you at this point in your life. Fear is providing you with a solid. And if I were you, I'd take it. Just saying. Thinking on what Chains and Fury shared, I looked to Stitch, who seems to be intently watching me. Crazy as it sounds, sometimes I feel like he can get in my head. He has even gone as far as telling me shit when I'm struggling with stuff in my head, trying to help me. But I haven't even told him how I've been feeling. Because of that, I try to keep my thoughts blank. Today, unfortunately, my mind is going round in circles. Stitch nods my way, giving me a knowing smile. Bullet, everyone has bullshit in their past. Some worse shit than others. Chains is right. Can't go back and change it. You do have the choice to make your life better, which I see you fighting to do. The club finding you and working, taking brother's shit, being a prospect is going to give you a future. Taking Fury up on his offer will allow you more freedom. Also, giving you a chance to grow up even more. That's all this is about. You're not a kid anymore. You're right. We're just trying to give you options. That's what family does, Bullet. And no, we don't pity you or think of you as a fucking kid. Get that shit out of your mind, brother. My head jerks up, because motherfucker, that was just what I was thinking. He grins my way, which makes the hair on the back of my neck stands up. He continues to watch me, or maybe analyze me. Not sure which fucking one. Then he looks to Fury, nodding. Fury smiles. Not sure what that shit is about. Just know it's freaking me the fuck out. Fury, I like the idea, but I don't want Mama, Molly, and Bubba to think I'm leaving them because I don't like it here. They've been totally awesome with all my bullshit. I owe them so much. Let me talk with them first, and if everything is cool with them, we can figure shit out, like rent, utilities, and whatever else I'm missing. Yeah, I kind of know about this shit, because Mama and I have had long talks about what she calls real life and growing up. Fury tells me to take my time, as he has to talk to the other guys. Then we could all work out the details. I start to feel excited as this next chapter of my life is tentatively laid out for me. Also, I'm scared as hell to be out on my own with my demons. Now Mama and Bubba are here to have my back. If I leave, I'm out there by myself. Maybe I can get Grace's take on it tomorrow at my follow-up appointment. She seems to have her shit together. If only you knew how much, kid. Francis grins as I jerk at his comment. I knew that motherfucker can get into my head. What the ever-loving fuck is going on? Chapter 2. Bullet. Sitting, waiting to follow up with the orthopedic doctor for my broken arm. I'm nervous as shit. I've tried to follow all of his orders along with Stitch's old ladies. Grace is pretty cool, gotta say. She's been trying to follow up with me and make sure everything is progressing as it should. If everything goes good today, they'll be scheduling me to remove the external immobilizing rod that has been a total pain in my ass since the first day. Bad thing is, this is considered a surgical procedure, but if it's progress, I'm down with it. I hear a door opening right before a nurse sticks her head out, looking around the waiting room. Tim Jambansky? I raise my hand tentatively and look around. Stitch and Grace were supposed to meet me here. Bubba dropped me off and is parking his truck. Mama Molly is recovering from the flu, or she'd be here too. The thought of going back there alone is freaking me out. I'm such a fucking baby lately. Rising from my chair, I approach the young girl at the door. Just as I reach to step through it, I hear a breathless call of my club name. Turning, I see Grace rushing toward me, pushing her hair out of her face and trying to straighten her scrubs. Clinic must be busy as hell today. Sorry, Bullet. I had a scuffle with a little kid while trying to remove his stitches. Little bugger put up a good fight. Francis and Bubba are going to wait downstairs. Maybe after your appointment we can grab some lunch. She smiles up at me and I start to relax. At least I won't be alone. Struggling to make sense out of what the physician is trying to explain with all this shit. Not to mention the next steps, how long the cast stays on, and all the other bullshit. I open the door, motioning for Grace to go first. She lightly touches my arm. I've lifted, and then follows the nurse through the open door down the hall. Taking a deep breath, I follow her. After shooting the shit for a couple minutes, Grace gets to the point. So, Bullet, what are your thoughts on the apartment for rent from Abby and Fury? You think it's something you might consider? Francis wasn't sure if you were interested or not. Grace's question reminds me I did want to talk to her about it and get her input. Last night, Mama Molly and Bubba didn't seem surprised when I mentioned why the brothers came by. Didn't go into too much detail with them, but it felt good knowing they had my back. Grace and I started to weigh the good and bad of moving out of the Smith's house. After waiting in the tiny-ass room for probably 20 to 30 minutes, the physician and a cute nurse, I'm guessing, walk in. Immediately, the doctor looks at my cute, and his face changes instantly. He seems to be glaring at the word prospect on the left corner. My cut. I feel the atmosphere change immediately and look to Grace. Her face is turning a deep shade of red. Before Dr. Dick can say a word, Grace's sarcastic tone asks a question. That's all for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the chapter reading. Good night.